Clemson Tigers and the Georgia Bulldogs.
Mm.
And again, the difference between Clemson and Georgia is Georgia got more of them than Clemson does. Them meaning, high-end five-star players. They're deep, 3 or 4 deep, and when you got that, you don't lose a beat when you bring them in. Then you can wear people down towards the end, and then they can't step. The other team can't step into the play because yours are better than them. It's just that way. But here's Evan Cohen on this being Dabo Swinney's last year at Clemson. Could be.
Right about that.
I think Dabo Swinney is in his last year at Clemson. I think it'll be announced in season, and he'll finish out the year.
That's great.
I think the pressure is going to get so great on Dabo that they will come to this agreement together. This will be it. He'll finish out the year and move on because I think the pressure is going to get out of control. He has not had one transfer ever since 2018, since all of the transfer stuff has started. Start for him. Think about that. Not one. Not one transfer. That doesn't work in 2024 college football. Dabo, I could see in his final year.
What you think?
How many transfers out has he had?
I don't know.
How many people are leaving the program? That is because if you have guys that are sophomores or freshmen or sophomores that are leaving, or even seniors leaving the program, yeah, it's probably gonna be hard to replace those. But if everybody's staying there 4 years, if everybody's been recruited and they're coming in and staying there 4 years, that's fine. You can compete. I just think that he hasn't been able to replenish the ones that are leaving, going to the league, and even some of the younger guys he's coming, they're just not that caliber because there's so many other open spots right now.
Well, that's why you go to the portal. That's the reason why you go to the portal, to replenish those individuals that's leaving, because you don't have to wait to coach them up. They're coming from other places already, seasoned veterans, and that's why you put those in your program. But
so if you're not going to take any, you got to be able to keep the ones you have.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, the ones you have are going to graduate.
Right, you should have already had. We've had 4 years to make sure that you had somebody to replace that person.
Yeah, but if you hadn't taken one transfer guy in, and you relying on this freshman to play against other people's seniors, because they got guys coming in from other teams that are seniors, some of 5, 6 year seniors that they're ready to go, and that's why.
Yeah, but who did you recruit for the last 3 years? You knew the guy you had was a quarterback, but if you never had, I just feel like you can't have if you're going to go with that model, Dabo, you can't. You have got to make sure that people are staying, or you can keep.
I don't remember
that want to stay. Right?
Yeah, I don't know how many he's lost. He probably ain't lost that many. So my point is that.
But that's even worse.
But just like Coach Montgomery said, he called me. He said he talked to the defense coordinator of Georgia before that game, and defense coordinator. He may have said on the show. He did. He said, "There's nobody on Clemson's team that scares them. Nobody." So that's personnel. To me, that's personnel. So if a defense coordinator said nobody on the offense, and Cave Kupnick and all this, who's supposed to be a great quarterback, I mean, he's in third year, second year, whatever it is, he should be better than that by now. And they used to have some wide receivers that was unbelievable wide receivers that was awesome over Dabo's tenure. They don't have that. They don't have that guy with the go-to guy. That guy that they can take the top off. That's personnel, though, and you can go.
So you're supposed to build that.
Well, if you can't build it, you go get it.
Why can't you build it?
Maybe they're not like that. Maybe they're on other teams. Maybe they're not coming to Clemson, and that's the reason. And that's the reason why you go in the transfer portal. If you don't have those Jimmys and Joes come out of high school and they're not ready to play right now, you got to go to the transfer portal. He had 0, and I saw a stat this morning. I heard it somewhere where 32% of the people winning teams last year had guys in transfer portal, and that's a stat that tells you that it's the reason why these teams win, because of the personnel, and it hasn't been happening. Here's Dan Mullen on Clemson being left behind regarding maybe transfer portal and just recruiting in general. Let's take a listen.
you saw in that game, and we see now really over the last couple of years, the lack of explosive talent that Clemson has on the outside. And, when you look at a lot of people in the transfer portal, there's a lot of great skill players and perimeter players in the portal that make impact at different schools around the country. And the fact that Clemson won't go there, I think you see it, their inability to have guys that can score, because they've recruited players, but they have players leaving. And when you have players leaving and no one coming in, when it's kind of a one-way street, you have talent leaving, you don't have talent coming in the transfer portal. I think they're really falling behind in college football.
And I get it, but you have, I would say, 4 stars. A few. You've had 3 years now with all of the people. You're not going to take anybody from the portal. You're not going to get that. You know that people are going to leave. You have to coach them up. Why is it that you can't coach up the ones that you do have? Why is it the ones that you do have don't seem like they're prepared to fill the role? Why is it the ones that you do have aren't being coached? It just seems to me that a program like Clemson, knowing that this is your model, knowing this is how you do business, knowing this is the way it is, and it's not like it just happened this year. The last 3 or 4 years, you've been having players leave, knowing you weren't going to take anybody from the portal. I just think this is I guess an indictment.
No.
On an indictment on not just players leaving, but staff, personnel, the whole thing. And I'm afraid to say, I'm not sure we know what you've built yet. What you've built over these last 4 years, standing on the mile of we don't want any transfer.
Yeah. What you just said is has nothing to do with the talent; it's to do with the coaching. And I disagree. I disagree with that. I mean, I would never say Dabo them can't coach. I mean, hell, they was beating the hell out of Alabama like we stole something.
Well, because they recruited the best, the absolute best talent,
right? And so
they wanted to beat it. They didn't have. They were there, but there was no real action in the portal. Now no one has to go to Clemson.
No. I'm going back to your statement. Say you got to coach them up. I'm not sure that's the case anymore. This is a whole different environment we're in. Coaching them up.
So coaching don't really matter. It's just who can buy the best player.
No. I think coaching matters, but they got coaches too. If their players are better than my players, they gonna beat you.
So if they can recruit a better player than you, no matter what, they're gonna beat me.
Probably, yeah. Probably, absolutely. Okay. I mean, but I would never say they can't coach. No, I would never say that about Clemson. About Dabo. No, I would never say that.
So can't coach and not coaching.
I don't know what's.
Well, that's two different things. Right? So I can.
What would
coach,
make them not coach?
Well, I can coach. I look very, very, very good coaching this team with the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Right. Without the best players in the world. And the players that I've cultivated over the last 3 years, I don't look that good at all.
That's telling. Well, that's saying that you're not coaching them up. Then that's the case.
So how much did you have to do with the best players in the world? You didn't have to do too much,
right? But
you just roll it out there and they just go win.
But the problem, the best players in the world, as it relates to other teams that he's playing against, they're coming from different teams. Alabama, if Alabama can get down transfers in and play them. And he had plenty of those. He was doing Nick. Nick had a bunch of those coming
Florida
in.
State got a lot of transfers in. They ain't winning.
Well, they
got some from Alabama. They go to 3 or 4 from Alabama.
Well, then maybe
they can't win with them.
Maybe that's when coaching kicks in. So I think a combination of both for coaching. That's why I said Dabo. I've never said him and his staff can't coach because I think they can coach. I just think they don't have the players.
They can't coach without the players. That's what you're telling me. If they don't have 5 stars, they're not that good.
No. What I'm saying is, if they don't have talented players similar to the teams they're playing, they're not going to win. They're not going to win, and they're used to. I mean, prior to the portal, when he could coach them up, and like everybody else over 4 or 5 years, that they was consistently good. But what's happened is that these other teams are getting good overnight, and they're getting better because they got guys coming in from other teams that are older, and a lot of them are better, and it makes a big difference out there.
But the number's not overnight. You've known this for like 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah, as I said in my first segment, the problem is that game was 6-6 halftime. So it's not they don't have good players; they don't have as many as they normally do, and that's when they suffer because Georgia got a plethora of players, 3 or 4 deep, and they wear people. They wear teams down. We saw that the other day, and I think that was the difference in scoring 3 points in the game. Well, Clemson had 3, right? What they had, yeah. So the score, what was the score at halftime? I can't remember. 3-3 or
I don't know halftime, but the final score is 34-3.
Yeah, 34-3. I mean, it was a tight game at halftime.
Yeah, they ran away with it.
I mean, because they warmed down.
I think it was 6-0 at halftime.
Okay, 6-0. Yeah, okay, yeah, 6-0 halftime. They had to score 6 points at the half. And what happened was the Jimmys and Joes, they had more of them. They kept. I mean, I saw so many guys, man. They had about 4 or 5 wide receivers I've never seen before. But they can go.
You think?
And Beck, as I said, he's a pretty good quarterback. I mentioned him being one of the top quarterbacks in the country. He proved that.
You think Clay Kmac is a top-tier quarterback?
He was the number one coming out of country. I mean, coming out of college, high school. But he hadn't played.
Today?
He hadn't played that way.
Okay, so
DJU was too.
So he's not though. So
he hadn't played. I don't know. He hadn't played that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
We can only go off what he's doing.
Right.
So, but right now, he's not a freshman. He's not a true freshman. So,
No.
So he's been there.
Oh yes.
So you knew this is your guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's the number one quarterback coming out of high school.
This ain't high school.
No.
That was 3 years ago.
Just like Trevor and
that was 3 years ago.
Like Trevor and Deshaun Watson, all those other guys he had success with.
Yeah, but that was 3 years ago.
I know. My point is that. So why would you think
that he could turn it around this year?
He'll be a good quarterback. Yeah. Why would you think so?
Because he didn't do it last year.
Who's he throwing it to?
Well, okay, but you should have already recruited talent with him. I guess where I'm once again.
Yeah.
I guess where I'm confused on. You know who Clay Kmac is. You know who he was last season, coming out of last season. You know who he was going into this season.
Okay, so I'm still trying to get your point, though.
My point is, Clay Kmac is a quarterback that you've had that's been on that's been a part of your program for the last 3 years.
Okay.
Did you recruit any freshman quarterbacks behind him in the last 2 years?
I have no idea. So yeah,
They should have been able to play.
So you think Cade Klubnik is the reason they lost to Georgia?
Well, I mean, they didn't score.
I mean, yeah,
at all.
Because Georgia's defense is unbelievable.
Georgia's probably a bad barometer because Georgia probably the best team in the country right now.
They're the best team in the country.
So they're probably bad.
And they had them at 6 points at halftime. Then I think the talent, the levels of talent took over, and that's why they beat them down. So anyway, we're gonna get into a lot more of this, a lot of opinions about what's going on. We'd love to hear from you anytime.